My name is Chinyere Johnson. I'm originally from the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, and I moved to Canada 2 years ago with my husband and my son. Personally, I am a mom to a toddler and a wife to my high school sweetheart for the last 8 years. Professionally, I am a construction project manager at EllisDon for the last 4 months. I also am a PMP certified construction project manager with an architectural background and a construction project management background. Who I am professionally, I associate that with what I grew up with, which is a warm environment, is what a construction site looks like to me. It started with my dad. He is a licensed tradesperson, and so I would help him with not necessarily his electrical work, but anything that a 9-year-old at the time could help do around the house. And he would encourage actually his friends to come to our house to lend a hand to help build our home, our family home. It was a very lively atmosphere, and eventually I decided that I wanted to actually pursue something in the industry, but not necessarily construction. So I chose something very closely related. I chose architecture, and I decided that construction is where I wanted to be. I just went back towards that direction. So a typical workday involves a lot of communication. We would also have to have reviews of documents. Sometimes we have to review drawings together as a team. Sometimes I go through something called RFIs, which are requests for information, which basically helps us to determine what's the best course of action based on the site conditions. We have to ask the consultants, who are the engineers and the professionals in the field. We have to get their professional advice on how to pursue a particular issue that we face on site. And so we have to process the paperwork and get a formal response, and that's called an RFI. My favorite part of the job is honing my communication skills, because communicating as a construction project manager is a lot of what you do. I would say like upwards of 90% of what you do. You have to communicate with anybody who has impact, interest, and influence in the project so that you are able to manage the project as well as you possibly can, given the parameters that you have to operate in. The most challenging part is the learning curve. For sure, it is learning the new techniques, the terms, processes, learning the EllisDon systems internally. There's a lot that I'm learning all at the same time while the project is happening. So I have, quite a bit of learning taking place all at the same time, but I really do enjoy the challenge of it and the newness of it. There are misconceptions, so particularly concerning women. I want to emphasize that for the last almost decade, I have operated in the construction sector, and while it has not been the most accommodating to me, it has been very welcoming. And one misconception is that construction is not a place for women. That's not true. I have made such a really, viable, enjoyable living in the construction industry for the last decade. So I would just want to encourage women particularly to get involved if that's what you want to do. To Energy Efficiency Canada, thank you so much. I just want to say this has been a great experience, and goodbye.